Rage! No, I'm kidding. Yo, what's up? Rage! No, I'm still kidding. It's just, I'm trying a new deck, and it's, like, experimental, and it is not going... It's, like, I want to like it, but, like, I don't as much as I like my other decks. And that's just, like, you know, sometimes it be that way. How are you doing, though?
Good.
Sorry, I cut you off. What were you gonna say?
Oh, I say sometimes in those games, like I played some TCG a long time ago, and I played lots of like Pokemon.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes in those games, sometimes it's like you have ideas, and the idea is better than practice. Like there's a really cool idea, you're like it's not very strong. And sometimes it's like hard to tell, like, is it the idea that's wrong, or am I playing it wrong somehow?
I feel like, so in this game, like, the energy generation is random based on the things you like. The energy generator produces, if you have multiple colors, it produces like a different type of energy randomly. So it doesn't do it based on proportion or anything. So I'm trying a 2-color deck, and I feel like I always have blue when like water when I need grass, and vice versa. And it's like, I love the concept of using Executor and Greninja. Like, it makes so much sense together. But like, it's not as consistent. And then I'm like, why am I not playing Poison or Mewtwo or like Jolteon, like the things that I'm better at? Like, but I think I'm not giving up yet. I know I'm missing 1 key card. So like, I need a second Executor EX. But I'm also like, is it really that big a difference to have like vanilla execute? Like, it's just a whole thing. It's a whole thing. Anywho, how has Melee been? Let's not talk about Pokemon the whole time. You were paying me for like something else, I think.
Melee's been going good. Been playing a lot. I've been mostly playing Fox again.
Okay.
Like I felt like I got my Sheik back to the level where I could like whip route it. I wanted to get her back where I felt like I could like. I didn't feel comfortable playing her, period, even like for fun. But now I do, so that's good.
Okay.
But that's so it was also a nice break from Fox. But I'm playing Fox a lot again. I have a couple of tournaments coming up, so obviously Genesis is in a couple weeks.
Hell yeah, let's go. Are we gonna see Ambrose represent at Genesis?
Hopefully.
Hell yeah.
And then the week before that we have we have an Arcadian coming up. Ooh. So like that should be pretty big. So that should be fun. And then the week before that, we have 2 locals, the one I host in Tacoma, then the big one in Seattle, and then there's also, I think, going to be a little, like, Tuesday doubles-only tournament, which will be good leading into those 2, because I'm entering doubles in both those as well.
Nice.
So, yeah, lots of tournaments going on and coming up. I feel pretty happy with how they've been going. We had a regional, and I went 0-2 in that, but I lost to, I think it was partially just seeding. Like, I lost to a Falco, who I've played before and lost to. She's pretty good. Then I lost to a Peach, who's from Portland, who's pretty good. I looked at the replays, and I also just played bad. So but then after that, I went to the Seattle local, and I played Stewed, who's pretty good. He plays Falcon. In the first game, I just, 4-stocked him. Literally just tech chase edgeguard, and, had some reads on that. And then I lost 2 straight, so I lost a set. But I still, that's a matchup, our first lesson was about Falcon, and I'm playing that matchup way different and better now. Kind of simpler, just because I'm, way better at punishing him now. I got my tech chasing back, which on controller I kind of had, back in the day. But it's, that, between the edgeguard and, that matchup now for me is, I'm sure of course there's more to grow, but now there's, if
we don't see a Falcon player and go, oh god, we're like, oh yeah, we see Falcon, we're like, oh yeah, that one, I can do this, we got this.
It's I test them of if you have to keep up with my how hard I'm gonna hit you and how much I'm gonna kill you on the edge guard. So I feel good about that. And then I got 3rd at the Tacoma local last week, 2nd time straight.
Hell yeah.
I didn't even feel like I was. There was more people there. There was 12. I didn't feel like I was even playing that great. And I still did. It was fun. The 3rd place match was actually with my friend who I play with. He's a Sheik. He came down, and we played a game 5 set, and that was pretty fun. So yeah. So results wise, I mean, it's fine. In terms of how I'm playing, I feel like I've finally gotten. I had a few is kind of box related things to learn. My ledge game was terrible. I couldn't ledge dash, and I was side B'ing, and I don't feel stuck on ledge anymore. My ledge dashes are better. The laser lands, I use those a lot. I refresh in various ways. I have here's a couple other tricks to get on stage, like the whole like ledge hop drill, like fade back drill to get back in the corner, and I'll like ledge hop land, like fake a refresh land and like do a down tilt and stuff like that. So I feel more comfortable on the edge. I've also been trying to running shine and drill more because I don't feel super comfortable both converting off those and aiming them. But those are like they're like good. They give me good openings, right? So I've been trying to use those. And related to that, I've been like trying to tech chase more, especially off shine. Like I was noticing I was just like not getting anything off those, and I started just like when I get the shine, try to make sure I wave dash off of it. I was like full hopping, and also just like pay attention of like, do I need to dash? Do I need to wave dash? Do I need to walk a little? And then also just like related to just like having an out of shield game again. Like I'm trying to shine out of shield more, not perfect, and just like wave dash out of shield. So yeah, so that's the stuff that's been going good. I've kind of been focused mentally against Fox and like Spaceys. I think I've always had trouble with those matchups, and I also have had some really good Spacey practice lately. Just like some good players who I've been playing friendlies with. And the advice I've gotten from them, they're two very different players. One's like a really like technical fast player. One's like, I think he's probably even better than the other guy, but he's like really patient. It's like but he's like out neutrals me like crazy. So one piece of advice I've gotten is something we talked about before, but like, he said like I need to be more aggressive. Like I'm very patient. He said like my neutral's very strong and sturdy, but I like don't. I don't like go for openings unless they're too sure. So that like limits me. And then the other guy's advice is just like my punish game's bad, my edge guarding's worse. And he like told me just like that he knows that like I would just like up throw up smash and get nothing off it. So I'm trying to look for like when I get those low percentage like grabs, like kind of looking at what other people do to me, just looking for like better, more efficient punish stuff. So like sometimes it's 0, just like depending on the position, just like sometimes I just like let them land and tech chase them, and then also go for like short hop up air at lower percents instead of like ripping like a 25-30% up throw up smash and get like nothing off it.
Yeah. Okay. So punish game is still like a pretty big focal point here. So that makes sense.
Yeah, especially Spaceys. I feel better against like I play against Sheik all the time, so I feel better in that, and even against floaties. It's like against Spaceys, I think it's because honestly partially because I haven't practiced it that much. But because they fall fast, I don't have time to like think, right? So it's like I obviously need to practice it. So I think sometimes it like goes too fast for me, and I'm just like it's like that combined with like especially playing against these better players. It's like it's almost like when I get an opening, it's like a relief, and then like it's like, oh, what do I do with it? Like sometimes I like at this point, the last session, I felt more comfortable like playing neutral in like getting hits than using the hits.
Okay, so here's my thing. Help me combo this Fox. What should I do after the? I want to up throw up tilt. After this up throw up tilt, what should I do?
Let's see, up tilt. If you can regrab, that would be good.
Let's actually do this on Battlefield, so I don't have that option.
Yeah.
So I get this up throw up tilt. Then what do I do?
Up tilt again.
Okay, that makes sense. What about now? Like up tilt until I can't up tilt anymore. That makes sense. But what do I do when I can't up tilt anymore?
Let's see. That nair you did's okay, but it depends. Like you could sometimes get a tech chase off that.
Okay, let's try that. So we're gonna up tilt until I can't anymore, and then like, okay, so I missed that tech chase, but like that seems good. Like I seem like actionable. So let's try this. So do this, and then okay, that seems okay.
Can you up tilt? Can you up air it?
I don't know.
It feels like, yeah.
Let's find out. Okay. So we just need him to like cooperate on this first up throw. That's okay. But yeah, so let's see here. So we do this. So we do this. We then up tilt a bunch. And that seems like it could work.
Maybe. Can you just up air right away?
Oh, that seems good.
Yeah, that feels juicy.
Yeah, that seems way better. Yeah, we get like... Yeah, we can probably just do like a bunch of these. Like just boom, boom. Oh, now we're cooking. So
Yeah,
like,
in the edge guard.
yeah. I could probably also just like up throw like regrab once, just to, like make it easier on the percents.
Mm-hmm.
Because
they give you the if they give you the regrab, you might as well take it.
Yeah, like that, right?
Yeah.
Because it's gonna be easier on the DI decide, and that's like where it's like hardest to regrab. Because that one, this up air is like relatively easy to get.
Mm-hmm.
But as they DI to the side, it's like harder. So, what are we learning?
Well, one, I think in general, just that, I think what I'm saying here is the up, like at this percent, this like it's like this middle percent range. Like I'm getting in the situation, I find I'm getting in a situation where I kind of just like get like chip damage, just by like getting a little scrappy openings or like stuff like that, or like the up smashes, and then I get in a situation where I'm like Fox like at 100 or 120, and I like need to get like either I need to like kill him outright with an up smash or like get like a straight back air. And at this percentage range, the up air, it just like looks like a really easy trajectory to work with. Like, that I can work with, and I can do a few of them.
Yeah, and like what's cool here is that like in these spots where like the up air, where the up throw isn't, where the up air isn't easy to work with, we're coming up with contingencies, because like it's these ones where they go straight above me, those are easy to hit. But like these ones where they DI to the side, those are actually kind of hard. So like in those we regrab,
which is nice because the regrab also like there's a nice synergy there because regrab goes longer when you DI away, right?
Yeah.
So it's your confidence is gonna be there.
Yeah. So we're kind of like we're organizing. I feel like that's the impression that I'm getting. We're just like organizing our hits like in a more convenient way. Like if I started us more centered, like if I started us here, where we get like I think the regrab on either side of the platform, regardless of where he goes. Like this is such a simple but effective system. Like up move, like up hit if he DIs above us like that, and then regrab if he goes elsewhere.
Yeah, and then I think one thing in real games that gives me trouble, because I was trying to do like experiment a bit. The platforms really trip me up, especially in this matchup.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like when I play, a big like efficiency difference between me and these people who I play who are clearly better than me in winning is like when the platforms go when the combos go to the platforms, I get nothing off it, and when they go to the platforms, the other people get like a lot off it.
So you just pointed out something kind of interesting there. Let me ask you something. Where does Fox appear? Like, where does the other? Does the up throw have more knockback in front or behind him?
I don't know.
So which
it looks like if you DI behind, like it looks like if you DI behind, you go further, right?
Yeah, like very slightly, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because I think he'll meet that platform first, whereas I think, yeah, like we're starting, like this is basically center stage, and he doesn't get there. But if we set him to the other one, he does.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that interesting? Although, like, if we adjust slightly... So I think that, like, one thing that we can... One thing I want to, like... It's very good to, like, punish people for, like, for going for the platform in this matchup. Because, as you can see, like, there's a lot of ways that we can prey on that to create, like, cleaner tech chases. Like, that's basically how the back throw tech chase works with, like, that Moki and people, like, talk about. Because, like, the idea here is, like... He obviously like here in this position, it's obvious he wants to go to that platform. So if we do this, do you see what I mean? So that would be one way that one solution, honestly, is don't let them have the platform. Because if they're DIing towards it, like, because the other thing here is, like, if they combo DI this, it's not like you can't work with that.
Yeah, it's still pretty good.
Yeah, so, like, one thing that I'd say is, like, we don't necessarily have to accept the problem. Because, like, there are going to be percentages, like, not at this one, but, like, there are going to be percentages where it's, like, pretty hard to work with, like, a platform follow-up, because, like, how do you cover everything here?
Right, those percentages where they, like, land, it's like the platform is, like, exactly when they start going down.
Yeah, exactly. Now, this one is a tech chase, but, like, I feel like that's easier to work with in a lot of ways.
Yeah. That's true, because I could, like, for instance, I mean, it's like 9%. Say, tech chase, say he rolls to the ledge. I cover it, and then I can, like, forward throw him. I like that, right?
Yeah, like, that makes tons of sense. And, like, the thing is, like, if they combo DI to go away from it, it's not like it's really, like, bad.
It does a lot of damage. Like, 7 damage is more than I would have expected for some reason.
Well, it's because, like, his up throw doesn't do as much. Like, if you have him, like, here, we'll have him survival DI. So it does that amount if, like, everything hits, but, like, if everything doesn't hit, it does, like, here, let's put him.
There does like 2. Yeah.
So I think what we're learning here, so what are we learning from, like, looking at this? Like, from looking at this problem this way? Like, what are you noticing about how we can solve this?
I think there are some, like, kind of standard options that help me with this very problem that I'm not, like, I don't use that option, like, ever, you know. I've only done back throw use back throw, like, when I'm practicing. Like, in the game, I never do it.
Yeah. Let's look at
but there are, like, yeah, like, being more aware this way.
Yeah, let's look at these two for a second. Because I feel like these two have very disparate, like, punish styles when it comes to tech chasing. Because Cody bemoans his, like, lack of reaction time, and Mokio's like, oh my god, my reaction time's so good. Like, oh my god. Like, it's so good. So, I feel like if we're going to get some different ways of approaching this problem, these two are definitely going to have some ideas for us to take. So, like, one thing I'm curious about is, who do you think, like, I think one concept I hoped, like, stuck out with you when it came to these, like, platform tech chases is we have the option to sort of, like, deal with the problem head on, i.e., like, just go up there and up air RT, like, just cover things with up air anyway, or we have the option to try to, like, avoid that platform tech chase and play a different situation by back throwing. So, like,
yeah,
there's more than one solution here. What do you think, like, do you have any predictions on who's going to do what solution more?
My guess is Moki's gonna do the, like, back throw because he trusts his tech chase, and Cody's gonna go for the the option coverage because, I mean, I think that guy really trusts his, like, everything he gets from that. It's like you're not gonna mess it up. If that makes sense.
One thing I'd also point out here, he doesn't even, like, let Moki have the platform sometimes. See what I mean?
Oh, wait. I have the wrong thing.
Here. We'll play with this. So watch what Cody does with right here.
So he just says, I'm going to hit you.
And the thing is, like, so here's the thing that people sometimes don't realize about... This doesn't look like Moki DI'd this back air, does it?
No.
Why do you think he didn't DI it? Because he's a top 10. He's a top 10 player. He's, like, one of the best, literal best players in the world. It feels very amateurish to not DI that back air unless there's something else going on. So let me ask you.
Maybe he was trying to tech in place.
Oh, yes, because if he that makes a lot of sense, because if he's not DIing, like, if he's how can he survival DI and hold an inwards direction, which would bring him to the edge, the most dangerous place to be in the situation. Like, how can he go here without DIing that way, right? Oh, and that's also like the worst. That's also like the most dangerous place to get hit. Way to get hit by this push combo. So this no DI tech in place makes a ton of sense here because it gives him a slide off this way. Like if he attacks, he gets a slide off, and then he also isn't holding in for multi-bear. But then Cody Cody capitalizes on this anyway by setting up a dash attack off it. So like preying on the no DI to give him a good follow up. I think that's an interesting solution.
Multiple times, I mean, show like the understanding of, especially like this percent I'm struggling with. He clearly has such an understanding of like when they hit the platform because it's very close. And I frequently find myself in a situation where I don't understand that, and you get the classic like platform tech chase mistakes where you're wrong, and because of how teching works, like they're invincible, and now you're in trouble.
Well, this is a big part of what makes Mango's combo game with the platform so good. He like is insane at punishing people for like having habits when they are about to touch the platform for their tech, because he just does DI mix-ups there. So we are already seeing like there's another way to avoid the problem. Hit them before they touch the platform, which means that like we're using our trajectories to like not to keep them below the platform or hit them above the platform. And Fox, with his many launchers, can absolutely do this. So, in fact...
What did he open that whole thing with, actually? It was an up air, but how did he get the up air?
I don't know, let's find out. Which part? This, or...?
The first thing we looked at.
Oh, yeah. So, Moki's got damage on him. Shine up air.
And it's just... See, I think that's also... Like, I wouldn't have punished the get-up attack with up air there. But that's like... So, like, what would I have done? I would have either tried to grab it or up smash it.
And what would those have given you?
I
think the up smash is pretty good. Grab him, not
super. Yeah, grab would have given me like a difficult platform tech chase situation, or like
it would have given you a platform. Throw descent.
Yeah, or I guess I could have thrown him off, which I don't love. Up smash would have given me 20 damage, maybe another up smash.
I mean, like I think at this percent, our up smash is sending him pretty high up, so we're getting like a back air maybe. Or an up air, or he's going off stage. That's why I like it, to be honest, because I feel like the grab incentivizes Moki to DI here. Like the threat of grab incentivizes him to DI for the trajectory edge cancel on this corner. So then, with that in mind, I think that then the next, like the up smash, if Moki Moki decides to hold out for some reason, the up smash is amazing. That's the best move. Because it just like it does like 18 and just sends him into the strat, like it sends him into the like super far. That's like the ideal. But like the backup options are all like we get another aerial basically. But I think that Cody nails it with this up air because this is I think the best option. I don't actually like grab here. I think grab is throwing here. Well, okay, it's always throwing here, but like you know what I mean. It's like different kind of throwing. Unironically, another move I really like to punish in that position is forward smash.
Would it reach?
The movement on it, so the reason I don't like it as much is the movement on it is tricky. You'd have to walk forward. Like
that would be pretty good.
Like the reason I like F smash is because so this is like how do I explain this? So if Moki if we think that Moki is option selecting Omsa tech for some reason as part of his play, which he could, it could make some amount of sense to do that, then like F smash just does so much because it moves you forward to the corner versus a Fox who's Omsa teched. They've locked themselves out of the tech window, so your shine is insane. Like that's just double shine at that point to me, and you probably get a kill. But like it's a bit of wishful thinking too. But like what I'm trying to get at here is like we want to think outside the box a little bit. Like we want to think about like we don't like our standard options. They're good, but like they don't always capture the information, like the situation as effectively as our other things.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking dash dance up smash. Dash dance pivot up smash.
It's always gonna be good.
It is always gonna be good, and honestly, like good for Fox.
That's one thing I think we talked about last time. That I still find myself messing it up, but it's nice I realize it. We talked about like how sometimes I don't give myself a little bit of run before I do stuff like that, and when I do, I get those more. Because if I do it and if I like pivot it or like basically pivot it, it doesn't work as much as if I like get a little running start and slide with it. Like off the dash back, because it's very good off the dash back if I let myself move a little.
Hell yeah.
Which makes sense, because like if I dash back, the space I just dashed through, how are they going to be there? You know?
Yeah. So here's what I'm going to ask you. So with this in mind, what are your thoughts on like the dynamic of like what do you think Moki's going to have to do to like come back on this one? Because I'm pretty sure Moki wins this one, but like what do you think he needs in order to like bring this back?
I think
Cheese is a valid answer.
I mean, yeah. Low percentage kills like that, and converting off knockdowns. That's like.
Keep going.
Well, I don't know.
Notice how he's not even like worrying about the platform at all. He's like doing all of his hit trajectories there are like keeping Cody very directly under the platform. Like he's not even fucking around with it at all. He's just being like, nope, he's in the corner, get him off stage. Like, let's go. Andale.
Which makes sense. I mean, at this stage, the platforms are kind of hard to work with because they're so spaced out. And they're kind of awkward height.
Yeah, and like, you see, like, they're not even trying to use them, like, a lot of the time. In fact, Cody, I'd say, is, like, trying to use them way more than Moki is. Do you think that might, like... I'm pretty sure Moki wins, like, ultimately comes back and wins this game, because I think Moki 3-0s him here. But, like, do you think that might have played a role in this?
Yeah. It kind of, like, so, I don't know what's going to happen, but it kind of, because Moki's he has one stock left, that means he's got to survive, so either he's got to, like, erase him, which he kind of just did, but,
And look how little, like, look how little Cody got to, like, use the platforms for anything.
Well, that's crazy.
You know what? That is some top player bullshit. Like, I like to call it like I see it. That is some top player, I'm, like, amazing at this game bullshit. Like, that's just, like, I'm so good at this game, like, watch me work. That was a watch me work play. And there's nothing wrong with that, but it's hard to analyze those. But everything like else leading up to it like was pretty... I think that like all of this is very structured stuff that we can absolutely take to our own play.
Yeah. So back to the platform thing, I'd say if the player relying on using the platforms more coming back makes sense, because I feel sometimes the platforms can cause you to drop those like kind of crucial mid-percent combos. Which is like how you have a comeback, right? It's like you kind of deny your opponent something really strong.
Well, what I was gonna say is Moki is like not playing with them at all. Like Cody's the one who keeps using them for like his combo trees. Moki conversely is just like saying, I don't really want to work with this. Like, let's look at his combo structure on this play. So he gets this nair, he gets this up air, falling up air. Up smashes him in a way where, like, there's no way that Cody makes it to the platform on any of the trajectories here, right? So then, like, with that, he's knocked into the corner. Moki's at advantage. He's just looking for, like, block strings, and then, like, misses the shine, covers the fall with the illusion hitbox, which was crazy, by the way. Like, what the hell?
Yeah.
But, like, Moki's not really, like, worrying about the platform. The only time he like goes for it is is when he's at like got Cody at like 60, and the platform tech chase is super easy because only when the second he lands there, one of two things happens. Either Cody techs over here, in which case he runs over and shines him or up smashes him probably, or like just hits him over here. Maybe it's F smash. I don't know. But like, or Cody rolls in which case he just does this.
Yeah, his easiest up tilt of his life.
Right. So he's making life easy for himself. And I think there's a lot of wisdom. Like, I think one of the things that, like, one of my rules of thumb for this game is that if something is, like, super, super hard, and it feels hard in a way where it's, like, the window to hit it is just not realistic, or, like, feels absurdly difficult, even just in practice, it probably, it might not be the best way to tackle the problem.
Yeah, and the platform stuff, I think one thing that gives me trouble is it is kind of like overwhelming because there's so much that you have to account for, and each I mean, of course, I'm sure you can learn all the situations, but for me, it feels like every situation feels very unique, and I have trouble like parsing all the options.
Yeah. So one thing here I want to point out is like Cody doesn't take the RTC right away here. He waits for the get up option. Like, he realizes he's misaligned, so what does he do? He just waits. And because he waits, he gets that tech chase. Sometimes, like, the platform is the up throw onto platform is an interesting, like, position to me, because on the one hand, it is advantage state, and, like, it's a combo state, but it's also, like, an advantage state, sort of. Because, like, you have somebody above you in a knockdown, so, like, you're clearly at advantage. You clearly have stun to work with, but you could also just play the fact that you're sharking them, like, as well. Like, there's it's not like you have to directly hit them, like, like, it's better to, but you don't necessarily have to, you know what I mean? And I think that that's an important feature of this situation that sometimes gets lost on people.
So I think maybe one thing that would help that I need to do is kind of realize it. Maybe, like I said, I have trouble sometimes like assessing situations that involve platforms. Maybe it can simplify that assessment, because sometimes the assessment is just like, I don't understand. This is too much, but I know they're gonna be on the platform somehow. I should focus on like being like maximally actionable in a decent spot. In the same way I get like, you know, just like a when I get like a stray shine, then I'm not for sure gonna RTC. My focus is just like, oh, don't like dash away or like throw away your action ability. Just like, you're at an advantage, just like let yourself be at advantage and maximize that.
Yeah, like this isn't exactly the same thing, but like Moki realizes that Cody's DI away means his combo is over. So like rather than going for a direct hit, he goes for like a falling aerial, and then he goes for a falling aerial with the most powerful aerial he can muster for following up here. The cool thing here is like, because he's doing falling up air here, let me double check something. No. What am I brain? There we go. Okay, there we go. Fight core. I'm reasonably certain he's -2 here, but like up air is potentially -2, but let me double check. So second hit 13. Let's say it's scaled to 12. Yeah, -2. So even on shield, assuming like this up air has the capacity to be quite safe.
Right.
So even if like Cody gets up and doesn't spot dodge, like you see how low to the ground this up air hits. Like, it's like there's 1 frame of travel time before Moki hits, maybe 2 frames of travel time before Moki hits the ground, which means that like he's looking at being -4, -5. Like, Cody has to hit the literal most perfect shine out of shield of all time in order to contest this, and if he misses it, then Moki probably just continues to pressure him off the stage, or continues to or if he holds, continues his block string on a very weakened Fox shield that is getting dangerously close to the corner. Like, this is phenomenal for him. So I think it's more about also, I think another, like, situation here, like, another common idea here is, like, if the opponent does XYZ, like, what do I do instead? Like, if the opponent does XYZ, that isn't the thing I'm intending to hit, what do I get on those things instead? Like, am I safe? this is a big reason why the Guess Falcon still works to some degree. Because Guess Falcon basically just says, fuck it, we're gonna go for, like, it all. And on some things I'll still get it, like, albeit a less rewarding thing. There's a reason he does it again here. Like, look. Yeah, same sequence. And it makes perfect sense when you think about it, right? Because it's just like, on all these things, he's, like, very well equipped for dealing with it. Also, Sheik F-tilt, let's go. Like, Samus F-tilt with Fox. Moki's a genius. What the hell was that? What the hell was that? Alright, whatever. But yeah, like, it's just, like, the beauty of that up air, of this up air, is, like, even if Cody doesn't, like, even if Cody doesn't, like, do this spot dodge, if he rolls, Moki's so actionable. If he holds block, Moki's so actionable. Like, it's covering two other very common defensive wake-up options extremely effectively.
Yeah, I mean, it probably doesn't cover everything, but even, like, he's in the corner, he tries to, like, wake up, dash back, I don't think he'll even make it. Might get clipped in the tail, right?
Or wake up shine, because he probably isn't close enough to get hit by the shine yet. Like, when he starts, like, a jump, yeah.
Yeah, like, full hop, I mean, you'll just get blown up, potentially, it looks like.
Full hop, I think, full hop low-key, I think, is actually the best option there, because full hop gets you out of danger immediately. So, like, full hop, I think you go over him, but then Moki lands first. So then Moki has, like, advantage below you. But I think that full hop, unironically, is, like, the best option there for Cody. Which is crazy, because it's like, the solution is Cody needs to full hop more. Like, that's... What? How did we get here? But, like, again, it's not so much that, like, that's not really the takeaway. And, like, it's more that it's just... Moki's created a trap that covers so many of the grounded options so effectively that, yeah. And you'll notice, like, this is playing out very similarly to what you, like, kind of anticipated. Moki is, like, trusting his tech chases and coverage on the ground a lot more than Cody is. Cody's playing a much more traditional style with, like, up throws onto the platform and such. And I don't think that, like, it's just a stylistic I don't think it's a stylistic difference that, like, explains Moki's success here. Like, I think that there's, like... I think that this is one of the Cody's, like, first tournaments after the break, when he's, like, juggling the multiple games, yada, yada, yada. So I think there's definitely, like, additional factors at play here. But, like, I do think that, like, not having to interact with the platforms and, like, therefore not having to deal with the inconsistency, like we see there, of the follow-ups on them, I think it would be remiss to not, like, kind of attribute some of their differences here to that.
Yeah, and I think one thing, this is something that, like, I think in other matchups I'm better at, but in the Fox, and against Falco I'm not. It's the way you talked about Moki, like, he realizes the combo's over, but he's like, well, that's fine, I'm fast, I have Fox with a step on you, so I have the right to throw this up air out. Which is, like, this really good thing that you don't do in true neutral, right? But it's got a good chance of keeping things going.
Yeah, and, like, when you're landing with it, it's like, you're landing with an aerial that is -2 on block when done perfectly. Like, that's perfectly fine. Like, God, we all land with back air on shield. Like, it's fine. There's honestly kind of something powerful about, like... In some ways, I kind of like that up air has less range than back air in those kinds of, like, advantageous, like, follow-throughs, like those Oki up airs, because the thing is, landing closer to the opponent means that, like, they're more incentivized to want to push the button after you, like, touch their shield, right? So even in the case where you don't get it, like, you're more likely to frame trap them. I also want to appreciate that, like, you know what a frame trap is. And, like, when I say stuff like, up air, shine, frame traps, shine out of shield, you're not like, what? Like that?
Oh, yeah. I've always liked those things. I don't even play other fighting games, but I've always liked them in melee. That's why I like Nest down tilt so much.
Or Sheik. Like, Sheik is kind of like little miss frame trap. So I want to point something out here. So... I think that one concept that might help you a lot is looking at, like, we are noticing the percent. Like, let's notice the percents. In fact, I'm going to flag that. So, key takeaways. Let's actually explore some of these percent concepts here. Because, like, you'll notice he does this, like, up throw below the platform tech, up throw, like, waveland tech chase. Percents matter. Let's do key takeaway, percents matter. I think that the up throw combo tree, like, the up throw and platform tech chase combo tree has a percent component to it. In bracket, we observe Moki going for up throw wavelands later, no, like from 60% plus on BF and Dreamland, which have like similarly heighted platforms. Heighted side platforms, and I think that makes a lot of sense because you see how like much easier this tech chase is to get for him because of the percent. So it's actually like yeah, it was I think 62 on the last one. Yeah, 60% plus. You see what I mean though, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Whereas I feel like below that percentage, he's not as interested in playing for up throw in general there.
Yeah. And I do wonder, so one thing I've looked into, this is partially because of playing Sheik, but I looked into Fox too. So Sheik, I really looked into the, like, you know, the up smash 50-50 on the down throw at low percents. Mm-hmm. And like how that works. And it's like the aerial, basically Melee is a weird game and the numbers always line up. But the last aerial frame of the tech bounce is like the same as the first vulnerable frame of the second place. Mm-hmm. They're both like frame 21. And then, like, so if you, like, line up your up smash there, that's obviously, you want to, like, straddle that line so you hit them. So then they have, like, no options. And, like, Fox up tilt reminded me very similarly of that. And I looked into it, and, like, you can't really cover roll away if you go for the read. And if you're already there to do it, you might as well just react with it, I guess. But I wonder if on platforms it could be worth it if you can, like, line it up. To just, like, go up, if you can get on top of them, throw the up tilt out at that timing. And, like, if they roll the right, it's going to be so compressed in either direction, right? So maybe you can have it all.
Ooh, so you just, like, you actually reminded me of something. You actually brought up something pretty fundamental here. So what I think you're describing, sort of, is... So there's sort of percent... Let's put him to no DI. And have him, like, bring him here. Yeah, this looks good. And we'll put him to 30. Because, like, we can cover everything on, like, obviously easier if you're a Fox player, but we can cover everything on this side with, like, this thing. Mm-hmm. So, like, this would be another way that you can, like, and you don't have to necessarily just go for it, like, in place. You also can, like, put movement disguises on it or use this. Like, you can use stuff like this as a way to, like, adjust your reaction. See what I mean? Mm-hmm. Yeah, so, like, this, I would say, is, like, this a concept in general is, like, very useful for this kind of thing. It's still, like, hard to, like, get everything sometimes, but, like, you can see, like, the advantage of this kind of system, right?
Mm-hmm. And I actually do this against Sheik.
So you don't do this versus Fox?
No, but, like, I grab a Sheik at 0 and... I'll throw a battlefield. I'll like so often I'll like get a running wave shine grab. He's on the platform, throw her up. I do like the like full hop up air with a fast fall, and then if she rolls, I get a regrab. Then I loop it on the top platform, and then now we're maybe she's even in like if I get a few, she's in a ladder, and I might magnifier kill her. So I guess honestly, like maybe learn the percents where Fox has a similar trajectory to Sheik, because then they're like the same character, right?
Well, it's just like learning like sort of when you can like overlap the text like this, right? Because like this is really what we're doing here is we're like kind of like overlapping like the 20 frames of vulnerability with the active frames of like Fox's up air. And then like from here we're just like able to like do whatever the hell we want from that point. But, like, yeah, it's just... And, like, we are losing, like, coverage on a side, but, like, what I find it works well with Fox is, like, to try to, like, use, like, a dash... Like, use your dash dance to, like, split where you can go. Like, kind of like that. See what I mean? Because it's like we go like we're this initial dash is like kind of covering things like this way, and then like if he doesn't go that way, then we kind of cover the other stuff. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and if he's teching there, like, so if you do the up air straight up, you land on the right side of the platform, but if you have that dash momentum, and if you land a little over, maybe you could cover the other ones better, too.
Yeah.
Like, ideally, you land in the middle of the platform, right? That's how you can...
Well, the reason I'm landing here is for teeter.
Ah, yeah. That's extra cool.
Is for teeter and, like, because it gives me, like, more follow-up time on the things. But, like, the thing is, like, there's other reasons, like, there's other, like, movements you can use. Like, you could, like, do something like that. You have, like, this thing. Like, there's, like, the other thing I'd say is, like, don't feel limited as well. You're playing Fox, like... You know, this isn't the best demonstration of it, but, like, stuff like this up throw drill thing, like, it's pretty good. Yeah.
I've seen Sunsei do that.
Oh, Sunsei loves this shit. That's right. Where do you think I stole it from? That's right. Mewtwo King. Long ago. But then Sunsei repurposed it. No, I'm kidding. I don't actually know who up throw drill is, like, attributed to. But you get what I'm saying. Like, I would almost argue that, like, another big, like, the impression I'm getting here is that you know a lot of this stuff. It's just, like, not reflected in your gameplay right now for some reason.
Yes, I'd say definitely.
So, like, what do you think gets in the way of you doing that? I know, like, your opponent, some of the people you're fighting are, like, super terrifying and they're, like, really good. But, like, what else? Is it more than that? Or do you think it's just, like, we're in these tough positions and I don't know what to do? Or, like, I get overwhelmed?
I think it's kind of overwhelmed because it's like there's like what, 6, there's a bunch of stages all with different platforms and all the percents, and
there's like 2 platforms. There's like 2 platforms. What do you mean?
That's true.
Like,
that's true. There's like Yoshi's and there's Dreamland Battlefield.
There's these 2 and then there's these 2 and then we don't talk about this one.
That was its own fun game.
This one here, I think, is like... I think that people run into problems here by, like, inviting... People invite problems, I think, on Fountain of Dreams, by, like...
I try to, like, short hop up air, and then I get shield dropped in the face. It's not good.
So I think that, like, on... Okay, so my tinfoil hat theory on Fountain of Dreams is that, like, people invite problems by, like, not playing off the, like, the knockdowns that you get just by, like, hitting people on this level. So, like, as an example, you see, like, how I'm just like up throwing him onto this platform, and then, like, if I'm wrong about the side, like, a lot of times I can just shine him. You see what I mean? Like, okay, the platform's disappeared, but, like, you saw what I was talking about. Like, we land at the edge with them, we shine them or up tilt them to keep them on. I actually think that there's a dynamic here that we're not really actually touching upon, which is just like the idea of, like, keeping them on the platform like that. Like, I guess I have to, like, actually position my character correctly. We'll have him do no DI. But, like, just the idea of, like, something like this, like, where we hit the tech chase. But, like, yeah, we just kind of, like, lock him in place on the platform. Like, we'll have him tech roll. Tech in. Yeah. Like, just having him, like, keeping him on the platform. Because, like, our up tilt, you see, like, how it has that extra, like, how it has that, like, hit that sends there. You know what I mean? Like, it pulls them towards us. So this is, like, another way that you can, like, I think that's why when you were watching the match, like, that's why Moki was doing that so much versus Moki. I think that's, like, Moki was doing that so much versus Cody, and, like, I think that this kind of follow-up also makes, like, a ton of sense. Just as a way to, like, trap people for, like, because I think it's a pretty, like, logical assumption that, like, they're going to DI off the platform, so, like, because that's, like, how slide-off and stuff works. So why not punish that, right? Yeah. Is that something? Yeah. What would you say about stuff like that? Like, is that something that you see represented in your play? Because this is kind of like the back throw tech chase, but on the platform.
Yeah. I think this is an answer to the sort of one thing I also get into so I do get a platform follow up, is the player will just like you said, they'll play off the platform. So like, I'll get the situation where like I'm already at the edge of the platform, and then they DI off it, and now I this awkward kind of situation. Whereas when you send them back towards where all the platform is, you have more runway to run. They might have to tech. You could. It's easier to like run and like at the end of their arc, run off and get a shine or a nair or a back air or something. Yeah.
Yeah. So combo concept 2. Let's call this one pulling people across the platform. Because I think that means like across or away from the platform to secure platform. E.g. back throw, and U-tilt. Upsides include denying DI off attempts off the platform, brackets including slide-offs, and securing runway for follow-ups. Yeah, I love it. Like, does all that make sense? It makes sense as something to flag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I'm just gonna like it's gonna be in the next 2 weeks. I just gotta like focus in on it, which has worked for other stuff. I'll practice. I gotta practice it, like you said, in going Uncle Punch, set the percents, get a feel for what percents give me certain things, which I don't have, and then just like go for it. Because I feel like going back to like. I feel like this is one of those things where, like, when I play someone especially good, the lack of this, like, I can't get away with not having this. Whereas when I play someone, like, if I go on matchmaking and, like get someone, like, like gold 3 plat 1 and play them, like, I can beat them without this, with, like, other parts of my game. But when I don't have it, I really feel it. Because I think, one, the really good players like realize that I don't do it, and they're like, well, if you're not gonna fall on the platforms, they like route my combos to the platforms, and they see, like, you know, like we talked about the situation where like we didn't like grab, like I'll grab there, and then like maybe the player at my level will just like not DI great to the platform or even DI away, and I'll just like rip an up smash, which isn't great, but it's 20 damage. Whereas the really good player will be like, well, I'm gonna go to the platform. And I'm not just going to DI and tech in a way that I think is difficult, but I'm also going to be ready for if you mess up to, like, you know, hit you with a reversal. Because platforms are very, like, reversally, too, which I think is where I get into trouble. Especially in, like, the Ditto and against Falco, with their, like, you get shield drop shining on the aerials.
Every time a Fox is late on up air and I see that, like, they've touched my shield, I'm just like, buffer shield drop shine, make them dead. Like, just, I become like a shark.
I started shield drop shining in one of these sessions with one of these, like, good players. And I'd never done it before, but, like, especially on box, it's super easy. And I was like, I'm just going to start doing it. It's like, wow, that's pretty good. And that's Fox's, not even Falco's.
Well, like, the thing is that, like, it just hits on one. Like, it hits on one. Like, how is that okay? Easy, because we allowed everything. We allowed him to have everything else. But no, I totally hear you on that. So let's take a look at our takeaways. At the takeaways we have. Tell me if you think that these are actionable enough for you to like work on independently. Because I know that we've covered a lot of conceptual things today, but like, do you think this is enough for you to sink your teeth into? I know the first one is kind of basic, but I think it's like an important one to flag just to like kind of help us like, yeah.
Yeah, no, yeah. I think these are all good, and I think there's a lot of things that I could like. For instance, like back throw, I could just go in unranked or ranked, and against space animals, just like look to do it a little more, right? I look to do it at all, and maybe sometimes it won't be great, but that's okay.
Yeah. On that note, I want to actually kind of go over something fun if you're up for it.
Sure.
How do you feel about AMSA tech punishes? Like, what's your understanding of like what makes a good AMSA tech punish?
Punishing someone AMSA teching my moves?
Yeah.
Like that. Good AMSA tech punish.
Yeah, would you say like this is a good one?
That one racks up some damage, but because because the forward smash is so slow, he gets a second one, right?
Yeah, but why do we mind?
I guess you can if you can keep going, if you can just give yourself time, because you can just keep going.
Yeah. So, conceptually, what do you think? What do you think is required for us to be able to like? Let's think about what an OMS attack is. An OMS attack is basically because an OMS attack ultimately is basically just something that is happening during a tech roll that overlaps effectively with the tech roll. Would you say that's fair?
Mm-hmm.
So how much so this is why forward smash is actually really good here, because forward smash has completes in 39 frames. So because of that, here, and I'll prove it to you. So we do this. So you see, but remember, it counts. The last frame is always considered interruptible for this counter.
Mm-hmm.
So it's 39 frames. So that means that we always have time to get this. The other cool thing is there's ways of hitting him. There's certain windows of hitting him where his ECB is off the screen, is off the ledge. So sometimes you're noticing he's especially when I hit him near the end of it, he's going off like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's because we're hitting him when his ECB is off. Now, we can't usually know that we're going to get that perfectly, because I think it's a 2 or 3 frame window, or a 1 frame window, depending on the tech roll. But the point that we have here is, it moves us closer into a position where we can, punish and, take better hits really easily. Do you see what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, now you're... Because it tracks the OMS attack.
Yeah, exactly.
And so, okay, just checking my understanding. Because the way OMS attacking works, there's a momentum component to it, right? If he OMS attacks to the right, he's not going to fly to the right.
Let's have him do that. Let's have him try that. Let's have him tech towards us.
Yeah, so you're pushing him over.
Oh, cool. So the way that OMS attacking works, you're right, because the tech roll is basically working against the knockback of the move. So you can get sequences like that really easily by just understanding when your move works, and you can see how this puts him perfectly into the spot where we can just kind of loop things on him.
Mm-hmm.
We can do as many of those nairs as we want once we're here.
Yeah, he's trapped.
Yeah.
Well, I think part of this too. I think in a real game, you can't tech it again. Maybe I'm wrong.
You can because there's 20 frames of invincibility on the tech roll, and then 20 frames of vulnerability, right? So
so it's always you can't get the 40.
Yeah. The window is 40, so they can technically always do it if they're tasked. That's how you get Jigglypuff players or Sheik players doing 8 of them in a row sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
But the cool thing here is, because Fox is a vertical kill move, none of it matters.
You just rack it up and then send them home.
Yeah, so this is actually assuming somebody always OMS attacks, they're always dead here to this. Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
Was it worth the 3 minutes we spent learning that?
Yes, because I don't run into OMS attacking that much, but when I do, I never do the right thing. So I'm going to start with the forward smash.
Yeah, back air, forward smash, and then just once they're in the corner, as many nairs as you want until kill percent. And as many nairs till kill percent.
I like the forward smash because it's pretty easy to react with. Because you don't need to because of how big it is, you're pretty much always going to be in range. And then it buys you that time. Because then if they loop it, now you're locked in. And if they don't do it again, it's a nice they're going to fly. It's a good hit off stage.
Yeah, and the thing is, the one thing I'd say is that double F smash usually is a little rentsy. Is usually not what we. It's a little crass, but one bear F smash nair up smash they're gone. They're cooked. You could also just shuffle bear. Honestly, this is perfectly fine. Look at that. Look at him go. All right.
Yeah, it's useful.
Yeah, and the thing is, like custom DI. Let's do, like, we'll do something like that. Like, what was he supposed to do?
Yeah.
Just die. That's what. Aha! Power.
I mean, honestly, he was better off not Amsa-teching that and just going off stage.
Absolutely, he was. He dies there because he Amsa-techs. So, like, this is, like... So, one thing that you might want to consider here, with, like, as you're exploring these tech chases on platforms, you brought up something actually pretty interesting earlier about tech lockouts. So, one thing I'd be curious to know is, how long, like, it might be, like, and again, I don't have the answer to this one, so this one you might have to, like, work independently on. But, like, are there any tech lockouts that we can play to, or like tech chases that we can play to? Like, if we back throw tech chase once, for example, right, and the opponent hits the floor, does that mean, what does that mean about the up throw tech chase? Because you see what I'm getting at, right? Because, like, if we get this,
So if they tech in place there, and we just immediately rip an up throw.
Yeah, does that, like, because we wouldn't pummel here. And, like, it won't work in Uncle Punch because Uncle Punch is a cheater. But, like, which makes sense. By the way,
kind of fixed this.
Oh, the new version? God, I have to get on that. Is it okay?
Yeah, and they finally have...
Okay.
They have DI... They also have DI draw for throws, finally.
Oh my god, okay. I'm gonna hit cut on the recording.